No more student PR pathways? BC freezes immigration streams in 2025. Welcome back to Canada Chronicles. Today's update is one every international student in Canada needs to hear. British Columbia has hit the brakes on its student PR streams, and thousands are suddenly left without a clear pathway to permanent residency. If you're studying in BC or planning to, this news could change your next move entirely. We'll break down what this freeze means, who it affects, and what options are still open, including lesser-known alternatives that could keep your immigration goals alive. And if you're on a post-graduation work permit, you'll want to pay close attention, because we'll also reveal a growing risk that's catching many students off guard: how waiting too long could cost you your shot at PR. This could be one of the most important updates of the year, so hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and don't miss a moment. Let's get started. A shocking turn for international students. British Columbia has paused its student-focused immigration streams under the BC Provincial Nominee Program. This freeze, effective since April 2025, includes all new student stream applications and has moved applications submitted between September 1st, 2024 and January 7th, 2025 to a waitlist. The result is widespread uncertainty across schools and immigration offices. Many students now face the real possibility that their time studying in Canada may not lead to permanent residency. This decision follows a significant cut in federal nomination allocations. The federal government reduced BC's nomination quota from 8,000 in 2024 to just 4,000 in 2025. Of those, only 1,100 spots are available for new applicants. The rest are being used to process applications already in the system. Why the freeze happened? The province is facing pressure to allocate its reduced quota to applicants seen as having a greater immediate economic impact. This includes healthcare professionals, entrepreneurs, and workers in critical skilled occupations. As a result, international graduates have temporarily fallen down the list of priorities. Housing affordability has also become a major issue across the country, and both provincial and federal governments have faced public concern over how temporary residents affect demand for housing. In response, the federal government introduced a cap on international study permits, and BC followed by freezing its student-to-PR pathways. With growing strain on public infrastructure and services, including healthcare and education, policymakers are rethinking how to distribute permanent residency opportunities. The aim is not to reduce immigration overall, but to realign it with the most urgent national and regional priorities. The pause also reflects the growing tension between Canada's economic immigration goals and its ability to support population growth. By limiting pathways temporarily, provinces like British Columbia can reassess how to best integrate newcomers into the workforce while ensuring that housing, healthcare, and transit systems can sustainably support new residents. This recalibration is intended to create a longer-term, more stable framework for immigration moving forward. Who is affected by the freeze? This freeze impacts three main groups. First are graduates from BC institutions who plan to apply through the BC Provincial Nominee Program's International Graduate Stream. Second are students who are anticipating the launch of 3 new student PR pathways scheduled for 2025. Third are those with post-graduation work permits nearing expiry, for whom this freeze could eliminate their main route to remain in Canada permanently. Even those with full-time jobs in BC are being asked to wait or seek alternatives. Employers in industries such as education, social services, and technology, sectors that rely heavily on newcomers, are concerned about staffing gaps. What happens to waitlisted applications? Applications submitted during the freeze period are now officially waitlisted. There is no promise they will be processed this year. Without a fixed reopening date, many applicants are left uncertain. The lack of clarity affects not only their immigration plans but also their employment, housing, and personal finances. Students are being advised to either wait or look for other pathways to PR. Options left for international graduates in BC. Although BC's student streams are closed for now, other pathways remain. The Canadian Experience class through Express Entry remains available to those with at least 1 year of skilled full-time work in Canada. This includes jobs categorized under training, education, experience, and responsibilities, tier levels 0 to 3. It requires strong documentation and a competitive profile, but it is still accessible. For students willing to relocate, the Rural Community Immigration Pilot provides options in smaller communities. These areas, including some in British Columbia, continue to seek skilled talent. Additionally, national programs such as the Agri-Food Pilot and the Atlantic Immigration Program are designed to bring permanent residents into regions that face labor shortages. For students open to relocating, these could be promising alternatives. There is also the option of employer-supported pathways using a labor market impact assessment. Though the process is more involved and depends on employer commitment, it remains a legitimate route to PR for many students. Each of these alternatives comes with specific conditions and none guarantee fast results. Students should prepare thoroughly and act strategically, especially if their work permits are nearing expiry. A critical step for many graduates is understanding how to transition between programs effectively. Being proactive with timelines, gathering documentation early, and keeping multiple options open can improve the likelihood of success. For example, a student who builds a strong express entry profile while simultaneously applying to regional programs increases their flexibility and resilience, especially when navigating a policy environment that can shift rapidly. Broader implications for immigration policy. This isn't just a BC issue. Across Canada, immigration strategies are being restructured. Canada's immigration plan for 2025 to 2027 places more focus on regional and economic priorities rather than overall volume. Provinces are adjusting their programs to reflect these changes. The freeze in BC may be a sign of things to come in other provinces. Already, regions like Alberta, Ontario, and Nova Scotia are facing similar pressures on their nomination systems. Students throughout the country should pay attention to these developments. Thanks for staying with us this far. We appreciate your time and hope you're finding this information valuable. The hidden risk. Losing PGWP time before PR becomes possible. The most urgent risk now facing students is the expiration of their post-graduation work permits while waiting for nomination pathways to reopen. These permits are not renewable in most cases, and once they expire, graduates lose their ability to work legally in Canada. This gap can be devastating for students hoping to build the work experience needed for programs like the Canadian Experience Class. A student who graduated in 2024 and received a 3-year PGWP might only have until 2027 to qualify for PR. But if 2025 is spent waiting for a paused program to resume, valuable time is lost. Some students might be eligible for open work permit extensions if they are linked to a waitlisted stream. However, these are rare and depend on cooperation between provincial and federal authorities. Students are being encouraged to act now. Find a skilled job, start collecting experience, and submit an express entry profile as soon as you're eligible. Even if it's not your first choice pathway, it could be your only realistic option in the short term. What can you do now? A strategic action plan. For those studying or planning to study in BC, now is the time to rethink and restructure your immigration strategy. Focus on employment opportunities that qualify under express entry. Healthcare, engineering, and skilled trades continue to be in high demand across Canada. If opportunities in BC are limited, consider provinces like Atlantic Canada, Manitoba, or Saskatchewan. These regions still offer more direct routes to PR for international graduates. Build your express entry profile early, even if your score needs improvement. This allows you to track your eligibility and quickly respond to changing program criteria. Stay informed through updates from Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada and your provincial program. Immigration rules are shifting, and adapting quickly can make all the difference. And if you're uncertain, consult a licensed immigration consultant to explore your best options. While BC's freeze is a major shift, other doors are still open. With timely action and the right approach, you can still make permanent residency in Canada a reality. And that wraps up today's breakdown on BC's student PR freeze and what it means for international graduates. While the pause on immigration streams is a major setback, it doesn't mean the end of your journey. With the right strategy, from securing skilled work to exploring interprovincial options, there's still a path forward. But the key is acting fast, staying informed, and being flexible with your plans. If you're on a PGWP, time is your most valuable asset right now. Don't wait for doors to reopen. Start building your options today. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and drop your questions in the comments. We're here to support your journey. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from Canada Chronicles. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.